Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing
And we
1,
are
2,
the
3.
perfect example of not being prepared for a show.
Us?
Well, I shouldn't say not prepared. I should say we don't write anything down necessarily.
We don't. Hello, David.
That's okay. Hello, Steven Healey. Thanks for being here again today.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Always look forward to Mondays at 12 p.m. Eastern.
Guess what I got?
What have you got?
Alexa, what's the weather today?
Currently, in Sarnia, 16 degrees Celsius with intermittent clouds. Today, you can expect showers with a high of 20 degrees and a low of 12 degrees.
See?
I got two.
You're in the 21st century.
Brilliant. I was over at my friend's last week, Roger, and him and his wife have a new house. So he took me downstairs to the bar to show me that, and he had Alexa down there, and he was demonstrating, and he has two. And we ended up, the four of us, sitting down in the basement playing trivia with Alexa.
Yeah. Great entertainment. Great entertainment.
Oh, now see, I said her name, and I got to, mute. There we go. So the only thing I don't like about Alexa.
Okay.
So there's one here in the studio and one upstairs in the living room.
Yep.
Is Jennifer can call me.
Okay.
She can drop in and go, hey, blah, 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 blah. Yep. And the thing I don't like about that is it never fails. And Jennifer and I have this ongoing joke about how her timing sucks. Yep. Is she'll drop in when I'm in the middle of doing something, and then she wants to talk to me for 20 minutes, and I'm like, I'm busy, and I can't remember, and then I can't remember what I was. It takes me 20 minutes to get back to work because I can't remember what the hell I was doing.
Get back in the swing, losing the sweat of where you were, because at times you do get to a situation where you're deep into your work and you're concentrating and it's working and you're happy, and then suddenly something happens.
It takes it all away. And I love Jennifer, don't get me wrong. I know I do things to annoy her too. I guess part of the relationship is understanding how to deal with those things.
It is. And Alexa can help you, of course.
Yes, we have a good relationship. Jason and I were away for the weekend to maybe talk about live streaming. We were away with our friends Kevin and Brandon from WeStream.
Yep.
And while like the basic premises of everything is a great understanding to me, and quite honestly to Jason as well. We always learn some things as far as different ways of setting things up and doing things, different paths to the same destination, right? So it was a fantastic. We were doing gymnastics in Oshawa, which is about 3.5 hours from where we are, and we always have a good time hanging out with the guys, and they really like Jason too, and there's a good relationship going on. And so two things come out of that, right? Is we are both in the same business, and while that could be considered, we'd be competitive and would want to be cautious, we're far enough away from each other that we wouldn't really bother each other, but at the same time, we're close enough that we could work with each other, and we've built a rapport and a trust and all that sort of stuff. So that's a great thing, and networking, learning from each other. So live streaming does it again.
Indeed, I mean that's it. There are always things to learn, aren't there? We'll never know everything, and by talking to people and going out and doing things, we learn.
Yeah, that's just the way. Wouldn't it be great if everything worked like that? Eddie Garrison is out there. Hello, Eddie. Thanks for watching. And then I'm going to say her name wrong. I want to say Anya.
Okay.
Chetri. Anya, if I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. But welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for being here. This is broadcasting to your community. I'm David Burrows. And there's Mike.
And I'm Steve.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm Steven Healey. And I'm Wiltshire in England, and everybody's happy because the sun is shining today, and we've got a royal wedding this weekend. And
all right, were you invited?
No, not this time. Not this wedding.
No. Well, you're a
No.
busy guy. You probably had to turn it down, eh?
Well, that's possibly true as well. But one of the things we Brits do well is pageantry, and it's going to be a weekend full of pageantry. I mean, we start getting the previews now, and we'll know everything about Windsor Castle, about Windsor Town, about the couple. We'll be by Saturday. We'll know everything, and then the wedding itself will take place.
This is this is the one with I can't remember her name.
Meghan
Markle or Marble?
Meghan Markle.
Markle,
Meghan
right?
Markle.
Yes. Yeah, she's kind of cute.
Well, it's the joining of I'm going to say this just once: Black America with the UK.
Yeah, well, it's and that's been the topic, right? I guess from almost the beginning of their relationship. And and Megan has, at least what we know from the public point of view, come through many, many obstacles with who she is and what. So there's been conversations about what race and I'm like, whatever. You know, you're a person. That's the way I look at it. But congratulations to them. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, indeed. And a friend of ours is just messaged us.
Fonz, how you doing, Fonz? I'm excited because Fonz did his first show on the Video Show Network yesterday. So we're connected there. This cross-posting, I can't seem to stop talking about it. I think I've got about 9 or 10 going up there. I think the one difference between the Live Video Hub and the Video Show Network is I'm not just adding everybody. I'm kind of going through. There's a bit of a theme there, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's your territory, your page, and you decide who goes on it.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And they're not all sent it. Like, my thing is they don't have to share my live videos back to their page because, like, I have somebody who does a dog show. I'm not doing anything that would be relevant to their page when I go live on the Video Show Network. So that's okay. They don't need to do that. But yeah, it's really fantastic. And I keep, I was in actually the Switcher Studio group. And someone was like, oh, cross-posting's happening. And I sort of felt like good because I was like, well, I've been doing that for like a couple of weeks. Where are you been? Anyway, I was able to jump in and help out. And, you know, and I may, so far, everything that I do with the Video Show Network has been BeLive.tv. But I mean, some of those guys, I might be interested in having their Switcher Studio stuff on there. So it's not just limited to BeLive TV, but I really love what you're doing with the Video Hub.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, yeah, we got quite a number of broadcasters on there. I think there are possibly about 9 shows going out today. Yeah. And it's all good. I mean, it just gives me a buzz when I see a show going live on the video. Do this the same to you with TBS? You think it's not me, but it's live.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Jason and I, again, when we were away over the weekend, he and I haven't talked to him a lot about the cross posting yet. So his phone, he got a notification. He goes, "The Video Show Network is live." He goes, "What are you doing?" So I filled him in on that, and he's like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." What's really interesting about my son right now is he's, and this kind of goes back to, oh, hey, Kevin, we were just talking about you guys. Yeah. This kind of goes back even to a little more of, I mean, being around me as an entrepreneur a lot, but being around the guys that we stream, you know, he hears us talk, and even if he looks like he's not paying attention, I know he is. And we've talked more about him being a bigger part of the Video Show Network on the business side of it. And on the way home, he's talking more about, well, you know, what about this? And I think we should look into this. And I think we should, maybe we should get some of the, and, you know, it's a conversation. And I sort of, I always say, well, what do you think? Like, I know that would be really cool to have, but do we need to have that right now? And then it's, so I'm excited and proud.
Yeah. Well, it's like a member of the family joining the business is always a good idea when you get on like the two of you do. And what's that? Fonz is saying he watches more shows on the hub than on TV. Well, we've got to remember that both Fonz and I are in the UK, and right. Our TV is not as extensive as that in the US and Canada, and the hub isn't a viable alternative because it's live and interactive. I mean, like with TVSN, when people watch a show, they can actually interact with it, and that's really
the huge advantage over television. Like television hasn't really done that yet. I think I've seen maybe some poor attempts, but a couple of years ago, I think I kind of remember. Well, I know I remember. I think the most interaction I've seen with a show, sports shows, I think I've seen it with. There's actually a system out there that you and I can do it.
Yeah.
DJ, I know. What am I trying to say? A DJ I know. He was out like in a bar playing the video music. And he had a system where you could tweet something.
Oh, right. Okay.
And it would show up on the screen that he had.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was pretty complicated, actually. And I was like, wow, that's complicated to set up because I looked at it. And,
yeah, you can do things like that with vMix and OBS, can't you? I think we'd have to.
You know, I don't know. I haven't. I had a vMix I had a vMix life like about this big.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Not for any bad reason that I just didn't go further with it.
Well, the thing is, we've got so much choice, you know, and the thing is, you go for the system you're most comfortable with, and it is a system for each occasion because you're not totally on Be Live, are you? Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Kevin, thanks for the compliment. I'll be sure to Jason. So Jason is as always behind me. He's in the wall. I ordered a stabilizer, a gimbal, called Smooth, and it arrived today. So instead of the co-op plan I had, instead of the assignment I had for Jason's co-op today, his teacher adapted and said, okay, you learning the Smooth and how everything works, that's your co-op today.
Right.
And he was like, oh, well, okay. I think that's one of the great things about his co-op too, is and him being this is what he wants to do.
Yeah.
He's a part of this world that you and I are in, and he wants to pardon me, maybe in different areas, but he's a part of it. Like and he should be playing. We say playing, but he's learning how to use this gimbal. And when we're done this show today, I'll walk in there and he'll be teaching me, which is another great aspect of it all.
Oh yeah. It's
so friggin' awesome.
It is. Say hello to John. That's 3 people from the UK in this show.
Hey, John.
Fonz, John, and myself.
And for all you folks that are watching, if you're watching from the Video Show Network page, type guest in the comments. It is turned on. We'll send you a link. We've got room for 4 of us here, and Stephen and I would love to have you join us.
Indeed, we would.
About it.
Yeah. And
Kevin says, good idea. Those things do take some practice. You get much better the more you use them. And there's a bit of a method to my madness. Is I'll use this thing. It has an extension, which is the reason I bought it compared to anything else, for when I'm out doing media remotes.
Yeah.
But we've got a couple of things coming up where I can use Jason as the remote cameraman. So it makes more sense for him to learn it that way.
Indeed.
Yeah. So what's so beside, I know the live video hub's been keeping you busy, but what else have you been doing?
Yesterday, nothing to do with video, everything to do with taking time off and enjoying yourself. Went to Salisbury Cathedral. Salisbury is about 20 miles away from us, and as we know, it needs people to go and visit there. So we volunteered, and the cathedral has got a display at the moment. And if you go to my page, you will see that's my profile page. You'll see a photograph at the top, and that photograph was taken by Angelica yesterday in Salisbury Cathedral, and it's called Le Colombe, and it's been exhibited in Munich, Jerusalem, London, San Francisco, and Berlin. and it's thousands of origami doves, all with messages on by the people who created them. And if you go to the exhibition, and this is inside the cathedral itself, then you could have created a dove for yourself, and it would be part of the next installation. I mean, some of the actual thing is about 60 meters long, so it's quite a thing. If you
here's I'm just gonna
okay.
try to bring it up. There we go. There Brilliant. It is.
Yeah, and there's the.
Thank you, Be Live. I'll just click on the picture.
It's actually brilliant. Thousands of doves. There you are. Yeah.
Wow.
It's just an amazing idea. And he just thought of it one day and decided that he would create this. And because of what has happened in Salisbury, then that's why he decides to bring it to Salisbury. Yeah.
Very cool.
It is. So I was out there with Angelica yesterday. Angelica was in charge of her camera, and she got some beautiful photos. This is the first weekend it's been open. It's open if you're in the Salisbury area. Then it's open until July the 7th. So you can go to Salisbury Cathedral, you can see the installation, and afterwards you can dine in the refectory, which is attached to the cathedral and comes highly recommended if you want a quick snack. But it's beautiful. I mean, Salisbury Cathedral on its own is an incredible building, but to have the art installation there as well, running the whole length of the aisle, absolutely brilliant. And if you go to my page, Cheryl, you will find about a dozen photographs, all taken by Angelica yesterday. And say hello to Corinda.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's.
Okay, open it up.
Well, let's show that off here. I've just clicked, and voila! Okay. Oh, wow.
Yep. So that's looking from the entrance down towards the altar.
I'm just going to put it full screen, but you keep talking.
Oh, go for it. That's basically the entrance to Salisbury Cathedral, and you can see the central aisle, and it's all the birds which have been created by people around the globe, and they all have messages on them, messages of goodwill to everybody in varying languages, English, French, German, and it just goes all the way through. And brilliant. Do you have the next slide, sir? That's a part view of it. Yeah. So that's looking from the.
I'm not sure.
Just a moment. Alexa's not sure. Let's stop that, shall we? Right. Alexa's just.
She thought you said Angelica.
Right. Sorry. Right now, this photograph looks slightly strange, but that's a reflection in the centre of the cathedral. Is a water feature, which is a reflective pool, and that's the reflection of the pepper doves onto the pool itself.
Wow. Well, oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, that's looking down.
I bet you these photographs don't even fully capture the honest of what you saw.
No. I mean, you've got the majesty of the cathedral itself, and then you have that's looking from the altar back. So this is Salisbury Cathedral in Wiltshire in England, about 100 miles away from London. Was a seat of pilgrimage in the Middle Ages, and this is a display which is travelling around the world. And it has been to, so far, it's been to Munich, Jerusalem, London, San Francisco, and Berlin. So if you missed it in SF, then it'll probably come back to the States at some point and be slightly bigger. Because
can you imagine all the time it would take to set that up?
Oh, yeah, it's suspended from the ceiling. I mean, it's just, I mean, everything that you can't, when you got puppetry and you can't see the wires. Same principle here, that it's so designed that you can only see the birds in flight. You can't actually see, unless you look very closely, the wires on which they're suspended.
And you mean like even when you're there, you have a hard time?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Not like those old Flash Gordon days.
Oh no. No.
Do you remember those? Did you watch Flash Gordon?
Oh yes, I did. Back in the day. And there you are. Well, the thing I love about cathedrals is also the stained glass windows, which were shown in the background there. It's just a fantastic place to visit and just to sit in solitude and just reflect. We saw the pool earlier, and it is just a beautiful, magnificent place. And
oh wow, look at that! That's cool.
If David's blown, yeah, absolutely fantastic afternoon.
See, well, this kind of stuff, like, I mean, is and I love history, even though I don't know that I wouldn't say I'm a history buff as far as knowing, but I love history, and like this kind of thing, especially that's got a nice meaning behind it, and it's not just like it's things. I got to look more into this. This is really cool because, yeah, it does. It just blows me away because I mean, even the cathedral itself,
right,
is amazing, right? So
okay. Salisbury Cathedral was built in 1258. It took 38 years to build it, and it's been there for 760 years.
wow.
Wonder what I always go. Like. I go to these places and I think, well, could we build that today? I don't know.
Well, the capability probably, but I don't know if it would be affordable.
That's the key. I mean, certainly the skills that are involved there, stonemasons. I don't think we have in the UK too many stonemasons, but
well,
I mean, the church itself was built, as I say, in 1258. And
well, be sure to thank Angelica. Let her know that we just made her famous on our show.
Oh, I will. Photographs by Angelica. There you are.
That's fantastic. Well, we've got some people joining us. Cheryl's out there. Cheryl, I've been meaning to reach out to you, by the way. I would love to have your show on the Video Show Network page as well. So if you're interested in cross-posting, I just haven't got to you yet. If you're interested, that would be awesome. Corinder's out there. He's got a new... Well, he's got a new PC, but can't hear on his desktop, so I'm not sure.
He needs to. And
Cheryl was definitely loving the...
Yep.
Loving the display here. And there's Mr. Dale Maxwell, who's also joined the Video Show Network. I'm looking forward to more of it. Mr. Kickassery himself.
Yep.
Dale, I'd love to have you join us today. We've got 2 spots open out there, and I believe I have it set up right. If you come over to the Video Show Network page and type guest in the comments, we should be able to have you join us. Although Corinder says it's not working for him, but I don't know. Now, Dale better be careful out there, right? Because he's close.
Yeah, one extra hay, and
we can.
We'd be totally confused. Yeah.
Robert Stearns trademarked that one. You can have 2 hays. Thanks, Dale. And so, Karina wants me. Yeah, I can post a link. I'm not sure. Somebody else type guest below and see if it sends you the link. Maybe Kevin Jack will, or Dale or Cheryl. I'd love to have any of you join us here on the show today. It's called Broadcasting Your Community, and we sort of talk about live streaming.
We do.
It all integrates. Yeah, okay, there we go. Sounds like Cheryl and I have a cross-posting date. Fantastic. Looking forward to that. I'm having fun with that because I'm watching these shows, of course, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, or I like how they did that, or how did they do that? That sort of stuff. So I'm having a lot of fun. Kevin's trying to be a guest out there too.
Well, I can confirm that the bot is working. Right. So I'm going to type yes. And I'm just waiting. Yeah, it's working. It's working. Right. We can confirm that. We have a working bot.
You do have to type it in a new comment. I don't think I have the sub. If you type guest in a sub comment, I don't think it works. I usually try to remember to turn that off, but I didn't. Yeah. So maybe Kevin will join us. Maybe Dale will join us. Maybe Cheryl will join us. Come on, people, don't be shy. Excuse me, don't be shy. And that also means that if they don't come on, that they're watching when they're supposed to be working.
It could be. It could be. I mean, it's what, 12:25 now.
I had so Kevin's partner from WeStream. He's quite a gadget guy. So I enjoy talking. Jason and him have a gadget relationship, and we got out of the car, and he's got a harness around his neck with a phone holder in front of him, so he can watch his sports or whatever while he's walking. I can't go that far. All right, Corinda, go ahead, Steven.
I just, as I say, I just tested it, but Dale says he's not getting the message. Now, it might be that it's intermittent. This is the way with bots. Yeah. Okay. Dale, have you got a message at all, Dale? Because you should, after the first message, just type yes and get the second message. Okay. And we have a report in for the live streaming awards from Corinda. Yep. Can you type yes, Dale?
There's Mr. Kevin Jack in the lobby, so it's working for him. We'll bring him in a moment.
Okay. Yep. So I got that. Right.
All right. Okay. Kevin's ready now because he's got his free advertising hat on his head.
Okay.
Here we go.
Dale, the same link has been posted in the thread on Facebook. If you press that link, it should bring you
there
here.
We go. He's got it. He's pointing.
Oh, he's got that hat.
WeStream,
boys. There you go.
Brilliant.
And what's funny was when we were in Oshawa, we went out to eat. Jason and I. Well, we had a bit of an adventure. That's another story. But we found a restaurant called what was it called? We something. And it was WEE spelt the same way as WeStream. So now we got a full house in here because Dale Maxwell's in there, Corinda's in there, Kevin's here. We'll bring Dale in here as well, and we'll have.
Sorry for not hopping on earlier there, guys. But Steven, with the time difference, you don't know that it's lunchtime here. So I was enjoying the show while having lunch. So
that's the whole idea.
Do that as quickly as possible.
I feel like Sally Jesse Raphael. Do you remember? Nobody remembers her?
Oh yeah.
Right.
The red rim glasses.
Yeah, Sally Jesse, and so I feel like we're the noon show, City TV or something.
And I got to say, while I have the catchy hat, I think Dale's shirt is taking the cake today.
It's a sexy shirt. It would be sexier if it was on a sexier person, but it's a pretty good. There you go. Yep.
You're filling it out. I'll give you that, Dale.
I'm missing out.
Dale, meet Kevin. Kevin, meet Dale.
What's up, Kevin? How you doing, man?
I'm doing very well. We're what part of the world are you in?
I am in Ohio. And yourself?
Near Niagara Falls, Ontario. So just on the other side of the border. So not too far from where you are.
There you go. Yeah, we're down in Dayton.
In Dayton. So people from here will take day trips all the time to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially Blue Jays fans will come down there to watch Jays Indians game. I'm sure you know if there's a Cleveland Toronto series, half the stadium is full of Toronto fans.
Yep, absolutely.
I was in Dayton, Ohio about 20 years ago. I've been through to Ohio a bunch of times since, but I'm a ham radio operator, and in Dayton, Ohio, they usually have I don't know if they still do, but this big ham fest. It's one of the largest ones around. So that's the last time I was in Dayton, Ohio.
My neighbor is a ham guy, and he's got his antenna up, like strung between all of our trees.
Yep.
It's hilarious. We just moved here about not quite a year ago, and one of the first questions he asked, he's like, "So, if you guys cut these trees down, can you just let me know so I can get my antenna out of there first?"
He's got squatters' rights on your tree.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I mean, it's one of those.
If he's running a wire through there, he's probably on the 160 and 80 meter band, because you can do that with a copper wire. I remember those days. Sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
So do I. No, I think that ham radio has actually survived the internet. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's survived. Is it necessary? Because I remember my son was looking at being a ham, and he started studying, and then, but you know, almost everything you can do on a ham radio, yeah, you can do on an app. You know, talking around the world. There used to be a time when I could talk on a radio and I could talk around the world. I still can, but now you can all do that. And what do I need a ham radio license for? So it's more the hobby of it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah, and then, tinkering
David,
around with electronics. Yeah, Kevin.
You don't have one of those VE3 license plates, though.
Can you
No.
Can you just drop me down, David?
Oh, sure. Stephen has something to look after. Yeah, no, I don't. I did years ago. I used to be VE3 DBU, Delta Bravo Uniform, and then I wasn't in the hobby.
David Burrows, Universe.
It was David Burt, right? The Delirious Big and Ugly was the acronym that we came up with. And I didn't renew you used to have to renew your license every year, and I didn't for quite a few years. And then when I went to get back in the hobby, they were like, oh, that call sign's gone, but now they have VA3 along with VE3. So VA3 DBU was available, so that's what I have now. And I had a license plate years ago, and my car kept getting broken into.
Really?
Looking for all the valuable.
Well, it's an advertisement.
Radio.
It's an advertisement for saying you're a radio operator, so there must be some cool stuff in that car.
Yeah,
you got some gadgets in there.
So I just don't, and I'm not active enough about. I'll get a TVSN license plate before I'll, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
can I ask Dale some questions here, David? Because you may be familiar with Dale, but I'm not. Dale, what's your interest or involvement in live streaming? What do you do down in Ohio?
So I have a Kickassery is my Facebook Live show that I do. Now I'm doing 3 a week. So on Thursday mornings, it's an influencer show. So I sit down with people who have personally influenced me. When I first started this project, I started kind of accounting the people who are in my life. When I first started, it's low hanging fruit, the people I can easily convince to get on here, right? But as I started really looking at my life and the people that I've had involved in my life, I was like, holy crap, I know some really, really cool people. So I just jumped on and I'm like, hey, listen, I just want to share you with the world. And that's what Kickassery is all about. On Fridays, I do a recap show just to talk about what's going on, what happened during the week. And I've expanded that. So because Mr. Steven Healey introduced me to bots, who then introduced me to RJ Redden, I've started an influencer bot campaign where people do some really, really cool stuff. It just came out last week. So they write letters, do videos, things like that. So I'm starting to share those on Fridays of people who influence them. And then on Monday, I did it, the first one this morning. I'm calling it the BS show, where you guys have influenced me, just getting some cool people on and we just talk and BS and share. And we ended up talking a lot about movies this morning. So that's what I'm doing.
All right. Cool.
I haven't seen that show yet, but that looks interesting.
Thank you.
From a business perspective, because this is the leap that everybody wants to take, is how have you been able to turn that from hobby to business, i.e. revenue generation?
So I'm a shirt guy as well. I've been doing shirts for quite some time, so that helps me there. I'm in the building phase right now, but I also, starting this week, I have Kickassery Live one-on-one class where I take people like myself who are just, okay, I shouldn't say I'm new to live streaming. I've been live streaming a vlog for over 4 years now, but I've realized that there's a lot of people who either are starting live streaming, want to start it, but the fear of talking to this little thing right here really freaks him out. So basically what it is, it's once a week, 4 weeks. It's basically Toastmasters for live streamers, just to get over their fear of the camera, understanding this is public speaking. We're public speakers. It's just our public doesn't touch us. They're on the other side of the camera. So I have that class going now as well. And then I'm also in the process of writing a couple books. So I'm what I bring into that class is I'm also I'm a body language guy. So I teach people how to utilize their nonverbal communication. So I'm writing a book and I'm utilizing a lot of that info in the kickassery classes.
What's David's body language giving you?
Other than constipation, no. No.
Jason's just said it was a very funny show this earlier today, and we can tell why now.
I haven't been privileged to be on yet, Stephen, but I think you've been on the show, haven't you? With Dale?
Oh yeah, I know I've done a different show, but I enjoyed my time with Dale. It was good fun.
You've done more than one with Dale?
No, I've done the one we swap on we're on each other's shows every week. No, we're not. We've done a couple of shows together.
David, now stop. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Nice. No, I was. Hey, let's be honest, guys. Sorry, Kevin. What was that?
Oh, I said David's a prop comedian.
There you go. No,
I don't have to say anything.
I have to be very, very honest. I'm very privileged and honored that Steven took time to be over on Kickassery. So I'm very privileged.
He's a knowledgeable guy, that's for sure.
Yes.
I'm still here, but thank you guys. I do appreciate it. So thank you.
No. We're talking about you. So shh.
Okay. I'll learn to.
And I'm telling you, just while we're poking fun at everybody, Steven, you're taking the cake today for the world's busiest shirt on camera.
All right. Okay. Yeah. It's not camera friendly, is it?
I wish I had a zoom control.
Myself wearing this, I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't wear this on camera because if you get fine striping or detail, I know that doesn't work that well. And then,
yeah. Okay.
Well,
nobody's watching the show anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Well, apparently I missed the striped plaid memo to be on the show. I apologize.
I actually go to my closet every Monday, and you guys would laugh if I could show you. So because I wear a lot of suits, I have a lot of collared shirts, right? All different whatevers that Jennifer buys me. And I go every Monday to the closet and go, okay, what am I going to wear? Do I wear a collared one? And I didn't wear a collared one last week. And like Robert Stern came on and scolded us because we were wearing T-shirts.
It did. Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll mess them all up this week and get this crazy. This is normally a shirt I would just wear with shorts walking around.
Well, tune in tomorrow for Tuxedo Tuesdays.
Right? There you go.
You're not going to get this guy in a tuxedo.
Later today, I'll have my suit on because I got my other show, and it's more professional than this one.
No emoji pillows?
No. Well, the emoji pillows will still be in there. But I'll just be in the tie. Maybe I should get rid of them when I don't know. Whatever.
I love them. Nobody should take themselves too seriously, you know?
They were a Christmas present from Santa Claus. And then my kids got them too. What do you think my kids are doing with them? They're 18 and 21. Yeah, thanks, Dad. Didn't see the humor in it, apparently. It's like, whatever. I have 30, and we discovered last night, because Jennifer came up with a new system for all the ties that I have. You should just hang them over a hanger. And now she's got them all hanging on a closet and pouches, and I can see them. And I have 35 ties.
Wow. I've got 3.
I think I have more ties than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, it got quiet as a church in here all of a sudden. Okay. Oh, there it is. Robert Stern is here. Hey. So let me see what I've talked about. Jason teaching David about smooth. Sally, Jessica, Raphael, and I came on and scolded them about T-shirts. See, I knew he was around somewhere.
He's in the room. Yeah.
He was creeping on us there.
All right.
So as long as I stay with hey, I'm good.
Yeah, you just can't have 3 hays.
Yeah.
We defended Robert Stern earlier for that.
Fair enough. So
Jason
Kevin,
West.
well, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Kevin, what do you do, man?
I own and operate along with Brandon WeStream.
Okay.
And we've worked with David and Jason this year to kind of up our game. And what we do is we live stream events. So aside from this show, you don't see me in front of the camera basically ever. We're behind the camera people. And we use the power of internet and et cetera, to live stream things. So we approach people, sports organizations, municipalities, parades, things like that. And, geographically go all across the province, or it'd be like for you going all across Ohio and streaming everything from football games to volleyball matches. This past weekend, we were doing a big gymnastics competition. Tonight, I'll be streaming the city council locally. Tomorrow, we're doing another city council. So stuff like that. And obviously an emerging business established 2015 and, growing every day, it seems.
I love it.
So
How excited are you for the 5G push that Sprint and T-Mobile are coming out then?
We're a Canadian company, so it really doesn't ruffle my feathers.
Fair enough. All
right. Yeah, I mean, just flat out, to be honest, I didn't even know they are doing something. They're doing 5G. All we do know, we are pretty excited that everything from software to hardware and then just technology in general and cell connectivity, it's all going to get better, which is kind of twofold. On our perspective, on our end of it, shooting events, it's going to be much easier to shoot events more reliably in more locations. And then from the viewer's perspective, it's going to be a lot easier for them to view things online and continue to live stream. Data plans are going to become more inexpensive. Fast connections are going to be available in more places. So we know that through our little journey here, the technology is just going to make things better for us. And I don't really keep on top of what the latest and greatest announcement is, just because I know it's all part of a curve that's going this way.
Yep, correct.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
It's good. It's good to know that it's getting better. But I would say, too, in fairness to what Kevin's talking about, I only know just because we use the same platform. Because I live stream events here in our city as well. I'm not to the level that WeStream is yet, but it's more of a hardware thing, because like we're using routers and we're using microphones and we're using, clamps, and that stuff is, I think, a little more relevant, unless you get into the outside stuff like baseball, right? So it's not as important. I mean, it'd be nice to go anywhere mobile and be live and all that stuff, but we're having a lot of fun with what we're doing.
That's a component of what we do as well, David. Like, we've done a lot of indoor events, but now we're getting into our summer season, right? And we've got football championships coming up at the end of the summer. We're going up to CFP baseboard, and we got to do their soccer championships, have to do their slow pitch championships. We have another slow pitch championship coming up mid-July. So, of course, we love it as more towers get put up and as speeds become faster and connectivity becomes more secure. We just know that it's going to make our job easier. And now some of these little dungeons, sometimes you walk into these buildings and there's just no cell connection. And we know that there's going to be a time, whether it's a year or 5 years from now, that you'll walk back into that same building and go, wow, look at the connectivity here. It's awesome. Yeah. So eventually it's just going to make our job easier.
That's right. Jason Franco's asking, hey, Kevin, what cams are you using for events? I think I'll leave that because we're going to move on to some other stuff. If you guys want to connect, that's Jason Franco. We can go.
Yeah, absolutely,
there.
Jason. Yeah, just my profile is probably in the comments there, and just send me a message on Facebook. Love to chat. Always love chatting. Live streaming, which is why I love this Monday show. I try and hop on as much as I can, because even if they're talking about topics that relate to me, ultimately, if we're talking about live streaming in general, it's all good information, and you guys have lots of it.
What he really meant to say was, I like to know when he said things are relevant to me, he wants to know if we're talking about him behind his back is what he really meant to say.
It turns out you were today, which is why I had to hop on.
Yeah, we were talking about you in the beginning stages, that's for sure. Jason's in California. That's why it's too hot for him to be outside, even though he just said cool. So he's hot and cool. Anyway, Steven, congratulations to you. You've been nominated as part of the 2018 Streaming Awards.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I got it. If anybody knows Jessica, could you let Jessica know that I'm live at the moment? Right. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. Every year, the live streaming awards are organised by Stream Geeks and PTZ.
Yes.
Z, not there, not Z. PTZ Optics, and it's a celebration of live streaming, and everyone who's involved in live streaming can be nominated, and then a vote takes place. Now, the vote started last Tuesday, and I'm honoured to be one of those nominated, along with Karen Glasser and Jeff Adams and Maryland. All four of us use BeLive.tv, which must be some indication of the presence of BeLive in live streaming. And the voting is taking place now. And I think John Upton has posted a link where you can vote. And I want to say thank you to everybody who has voted. There is a leaderboard because this is streamed live on YouTube. And I'm right in the middle of the top 10. So I want to thank everybody for the votes. Voting finishes on June 1st. So you'll hear from me between now and June 1st, asking for your vote. If you have voted, thank you. And I'm just honoured to be part of it.
Steven, I'm interested in a lawn sign. Can I get
a lawn sign?
I just want to know what you're doing to campaign. You're going door to door. Are we shaking hands?
The thing about being nominated, I'm going to take this at face value because sometimes, to actually campaign for votes. The campaign for votes is an all year round thing.
Yeah.
You cannot hope to be nominated one day and get the votes the next. You have to effectively network all year round. And that is why I'm on the leaderboard, because there's two parts to this. One is being involved in live video, which is qualifying. And the second part is that you need the network behind you to actually vote. And I'm just fortunate that 137 people so far have actually come forward and voted, actually taken the step of going to the sites, including David and Dale. And I know Robert has and Jason, scrolling down to the bottom of the page, down at the top, and then ticking the 3 points. I'm just grateful. So obviously I campaign in BeLivers, I campaign on my own page, I've got my Twitter followers, I've got my followers on a site called Empire Cred, which nobody's ever heard of. And also I've got my 5,000 students on Udemy. So that's my putting the stake on the lawn, but it's not just a lawn, it's lots of different playing fields all around the globe.
Awesome. I'm just going to break off to, so you were reaching out to Jessica Payne, is that?
It is, yeah. She's saying that.
Well, it's live on her page because she's connected to the Video Show Network, and she had it set so that I could go live on her page. So maybe I turned that on. So that's probably why it's showing up on her page.
All right, okay.
So my apologies to Jessica if she didn't want that there, and I will make sure that I don't do that again. I probably meant not to, but I just made a boo-boo.
I just explaining it this year.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, these things happen. So, Jessica.
Yeah, and so what I want people to do, and I guess I'll have to go back to them, is to explain to them if they don't want any of these to show up on their page back, they need to change that setting so that I can't do that. So
it's just one setting, takes 2 seconds. And I mean, the last thing that either of us would do is actually go live without, it's accidents happen though. And
maybe that's why we have so many people watching today. So we're on Jessica's page.
They're all Jessica's fans. So We'll send a virtual hug out to Jessica afterwards. Brilliant. If you came from Jessica's page, can you just say, no, all good.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry, Jessica. My bad.
All right. And Robert has, in fact, thank you, Robert, for reaching out. He's had a chat with Jessica and she's now changed it.
Perfect. Well, I think it's really cool that they did the live streaming awards. You know what I find interesting? It's the second annual. And I had it written down somewhere last year that it was coming up, and then I forgot all about it until I saw you and Jeff and everybody, which is fantastic. But you see the second annual live streaming awards. The first thing that comes to my mind is I can't wait for the 10th annual and the 20th annual and the 30th annual. And where will we be as far as live streaming goes?
That's a darn good question. I would hope to be here for the 30th one. That's the first thing. In terms of where we'll be in 10 years' time, I can answer that with some authority. I think we'll be in a situation where we can just think something and it'll be on the internet. It's frightening.
Yeah. But I mean, will we have the big red carpet laid out, and will the ladies be, fighting over who gets the nicer dress? And I think so. I think it'll be something like that.
It'll happen, but it'll be all virtual.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Well, I think the Super Bowl will be virtual by then. I know, I walked into a Best Buy the other day and I go, how do they keep making these TVs any better? How did they, now we're 4K and whatever. So it'll be a hologram in your living room floor, maybe. And then how do you get any better than that?
Well, it's funny. I remember asking the question once.
Holograms. I don't know.
Yeah, how HD is the human eye? At a certain point, the TV resolution is going to surpass what the human eye can actually pick up, and at that point, it just becomes a useless endeavor, doesn't it?
It does. It becomes frightening. If we could see ourselves as an extra high definition camera could, then we wouldn't date us. Because yes, David. We're covered. We're covered all around.
I already showing up warts as it is. I don't need that.
Yeah. I mean, we've got our own eye definition is such that we can see ourselves as we want to be seen. In other words, we've not got better than we need to actually get it.
I guess what I'm saying is in the pursuit of 4K, and then if they get to 8K, then if they get to 16K, at what point have they created a new higher level of resolution that is indiscernible to the human eye? We're going to get there at some point.
Yeah.
Where we have to say, but this is useless now. I can see the difference between 4K and a regular HD TV, but whatever's beyond that, is the human eye going to be able to pick it up? I guess is what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's more than just what it looks like visually. I think it's what will we be doing with live streaming, and what new features will be created, and who will be having live streaming? Where will YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and all those platforms, where will they be with it all? What will they be looking at? Like Steven and I talked earlier about engagement. You don't really see engagement on television other than, send us a tweet and they might show it up on the screen. And where will television be 10 years from now? And will switcher studio guys like us, will we be broadcasting the Super Bowl?
Yep. That's where it's going right there.
So I hope so. I mean, it's a good place to be.
The industry, talking TV industry, I'm not in the know like you guys are now, but I went to college for broadcasting, and I remember when Japan first, why do we need to see any better? We can see all the colors, we can see this, we can see that. Yeah. But I truly believe the television industry, the cable industries, the production houses, they see it coming. And they're trying to make adjustments to see that, YouTube has its own television station now. We all have the opportunity to run our own TV station as live streamers, and it's exciting. It's super, super cool, and the advertising money is going that direction as well.
Oh, it is. And it's sorry, David.
Go ahead, Steven.
It's the advertising that pays for everything. I mean, we complain about adverts, but it's the adverts that actually support everything that we're doing today.
Well, and that's I mean, Zuckerberg's a good example of what's happening with how advertising's changing. I mean, you know, pop-ups and cookies, and that's been around a long time, but how it gets used is the big difference. And I kind of commend Zuckerberg, really, because he's stepping out of the box as far as going, okay, so this isn't normal on how you do things, right? And so that's why there's all these questions about, you know, integrity and that, you know, trust and privacy and all that sort of stuff. So he's sort of ahead of the game as far as, okay, here's something new. This is a new way of how we do something. It's kind of like heart transplants, you know, like heart transplants when they first started, right? Now, like it's day surgery.
Yep. You're home for dinner.
It's ahead of the change, you know, ahead of the trend, if you will. And I even go back to shopping, you know, Kevin and I were talking over the weekend. Like I used to go shopping with my mom, and we went to Woolco, Century, Kmart, and Sears. We did a trip. And then Walmart came along and changed the way we shop. We go to Walmart, one stop.
Yep.
It was a paradigm shift. So I think it's similar with advertising and with live streaming. I find when I'm out, you know, everybody can live stream now because they got a phone, so I can live stream, right? Yeah, well, yeah, but what level? And it was like live streaming. Yeah, I heard of that, and now it's live streaming, and then what's next, right? So maybe Donald Trump will start The Apprentice on live streaming.
That's the second time you mentioned him. Is there something?
It's really quiet whenever I say those two words.
You mentioned him twice now, and everybody's gone quiet because. I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, you don't. It's okay. I like saying it because it quiets people.
I don't want to break anything.
All right. Well, we're having a good conversation. Can you believe we're like 2 minutes away from an hour already, guys?
Amazing.
Can you imagine if we had 10 people on screen? I don't think we want any more. No more people on screen.
When you go live now and you go to edit the post and you go to settings in the top right hand corner under video, you can click a button which says this is a never-ending video.
Yeah. What's that song? What's her name?
Remember Little the song?
That's right.
On my friend.
Lamb Chop.
Yep.
Lamb Chop. And what was the lady's name that
Ooh, tough one.
Terry?
How quickly we forget. We remember Lamb Chop. I know. That's for next week's show.
Okay. Your starter.
Give us homework
next week.
I gave you home. I gave Kevin. I gave you homework. I didn't give anybody else homework. Robert Stern. Can I believe I didn't come on screen? Do you know why he didn't come on screen? Because we're full. That's why. He's going to try right now. Jason's got it right.
He probably doesn't have an appropriate shirt.
No, he probably doesn't.
I'm going to change my shirt. Next Monday, I'll be wearing a plain shirt. How's that?
Just don't do it while we're live. Thank you. Jason's right. It is a very fun time right now. And, okay, it seems like maybe Dale needs to be left alone, too. I can't imagine.
Oh, the things we're learning.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
well, it's
Dale,
been fun.
Sorry, are you wrapping up?
No, you go ahead and then I'll wrap up.
Dale, when you do your podcast and stuff, are all your guests with you physically in studio, or do you use like virtual connections?
I use BeLive.
Awesome.
So yeah, I've only had the opportunity once to actually be sitting with people. All 47 now that I've done since November. I'm pushing 50 right now. Has all but one have been here because we just moved to Ohio I'm an Army wife, so we move all the time. And we just moved here last August. So I don't know anyone here locally, and all my influencers are stretched. I'm originally from Idaho, so stretched from Idaho to Germany to Midwest to East Coast. They're all over the place. So, yep. So this Be Live platform is just, it's the stuff for me. It works perfect.
Yeah, I've nearly had, I come on this show occasionally, and we've been approached for a couple of quotes that never ended up panning out, but where I knew that Be Live was going to be my solution for what they wanted to do. And just never really came to fruition. But I look forward to a day where people are like, you know, I need to bring in multiple guests from around the world. We got approached by a Toronto company that was trying to launch themselves. And for their launch, they wanted to do a live stream with guests in 3 corners of the world. And right away, I knew, I'm like, this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use the Be Live platform to pull this off. But in the back of my mind, I also knew that this guy really doesn't know what he just asked for. In a sense of, can you quote this? Yeah, I can quote this for you. Mm-hmm. You don't want to pay what it's going to cost to get this done. So,
yeah, right.
So it never came to be. But I anticipate
Not
the day
yet.
where I get to use Be Live.
Nice.
Yeah, because I love, and you know what, being on this show gives me a lot of confidence in how it works, its ability to bring on different guests from everywhere in the world. I mean, every week I see David and Steven, and right there I'm like, well, you guys, you know, it's not North America and Australia, but these are 2 different corners of the world, and the conversations that multiple people get to have on the same platform that is virtually seamless is very impressive, and I have full confidence in the platform.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you joining us. And Jason's looking forward to Be Live going to 1080. Well, Facebook has to do that first, not Be Live. So we're going to start wrapping things up, and thank everybody who's been watching and commenting. And Robert, thank you for being here as well. I knew he was around somewhere. Steven, final words?
My final words are enjoy the week. Check out the live video hub, and I'll see you again shortly. Dale and Kevin, and of course you, David.
And vote for Steve. Vote for Steven.
Yes.
Vote for Steven.
Good luck to that, Steven.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Very kind.
Thanks, everybody. Kevin and Dale, thanks so much for joining us. Kevin, I know you always join when you can, and Dale, we're welcome to have you back anytime. We're live here on the Video Show Network every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern. I'll be live later today on the Show Sarnia page, the show live with David Burrows. I've got 3 guests. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things, and you never know what I'm going to talk about. And I will have on one of my really cool ties. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
And a shirt, but not a...
Well, I'll have a shirt with a tie, too.
Don't have a striped shirt. Do not... Second rule of broadcasting. 1, look at the camera. 2, don't wear a striped shirt. There you go.
I'm looking at Dale right now. I'm looking at Kevin. I'm not looking at Steven. That's all there is, folks. Thanks for watching. Until next week, have a great week. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.